Yeah, the Oscars are starting, apparently.
Oh, yeah, you have a reminder set for the Oscar Awards?
No, it's just popped up on one of the news apps.
Oh, I should set that up to record real quick.
Anything worth watching is available on Twitter 10 seconds after it's done happening. So
Fair enough, but, might
it's
as well.
hard for me to sit through that shit, dude, I mean, I care. I like shows and movies and things, award shows getting recognized. I think that's cool. They're supposed to be like they're gonna do a live. We don't talk about Bruno. They're gonna do that.
We don't talk about Bruno. No,
Beyonce gonna sing from like a tennis court in the inner city or something. I don't know. I get it. Award shows are trying to stay relevant the same way movies are trying to stay relevant.
I mean, will they ever be like this big like gala event? No. I mean, this is all in the internet age, awards are handed out more frequently,
More of it is nostalgia for me, tradition. They're doing it because they always have.
True enough, but
and I'm okay with that too. It's just I don't know. A lot of people tend to put a lot of credit into like these awards and things like that, and
I mean, at the end of the day, I just feel
on shit. It's weird.
As far as it's like elitist dick measuring, sure,
it's a circle jerk. It's an elitist circle jerk.
Yeah. But it still can be a look at like
movies.
Yeah, good filmmaking. It's like
good filmmaking.
It's a showcase of some of the best movies that came out this year. And are they going to get some of the picks wrong? Yes, absolutely. They historically have made some terrible blunders.
It's all about the nominees. It's all about
well, sure. But I still think that it has a place like giving people, recognition for making a good movie.
Sure.
But, it's not as important as it used to be, and it never will be again. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like this thing they do for tradition's sake, and I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Recognition, but who gives you this body, this organization, and everyone is supposed to care. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
I don't know. It's weird. It is weird.
Then choose not to care,
Oh, for sure.
Life will move on,
Yeah. I mean, they still pick movies. When I watch those movies, I can understand why they are the movies that they chose for the categories they chose them for.
Yeah.
You could still pick that up, but like Spider-Man wasn't nominated for like Best Picture, and I'm sorry, that's never going to happen. Okay.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
It never will.
That's not how these Oscars, the Motion Picture Academy of Arts.
And sure, there is some elitism to that. I mean, they threw like Black Panther a bone a few years ago, but that was just because it was so culturally relevant.
It won in costuming, and that's where it should have won. That's where it did the best in terms of making an impact on the screen. And I don't know. I think sometimes a lot of people misconstrue what some people say about elitist, quote unquote, elitist movies compared to more the popcorn movie. Even if your popcorn movie has deep meaning to it, it don't matter.
I feel like if you're looking at this to be like the word of God, like, these are like the best movies, we will brook no discussion. That's the wrong attitude to take.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that I approach these things to watch them to be like, okay, here's a bunch of like artsy fartsy movies that like, kind of do a bit of a circle jerk, but that's fine. That's what this is. That's what it's always been.
If you go to the museum, right, the thing that you touch and your hair gets all big, that's what everybody goes to.
That's the Van de Graaff generator.
But if you talk to somebody who works at the museum, that's not where they're going to tell you to go. And the place they're going to tell you to go is probably going to be kind of boring compared to the thing that you touch and your hair goes, well, okay.
And there's a place for both types of things, right?
Exactly.
Like there's relevance and there's importance to both types of things. A movie like, No Way Home, no, it's not like an artistic thing, but it is like an experience, right? It is like a celebration of pop culture going back like 20 fucking years. And that's not the type of thing the Oscars care about, but it's still great to see,
So, and I had this discussion, I don't remember who it was with, but the Oscars need to change then a little bit, because as much as they want to ignore superhero movies that like aren't the Joker, right? Or even Nolan's Batman got thrown a bone. You look back at Lord of the Rings and it broke like a ceiling. You know, it really did for these sorts of movies to get the credit that they deserve on that elite stage. But if you look at the MCU and the way they've taken 20 some odd movies and put a capstone on it with Infinity War and Endgame, that's never been done in cinema, and it should have deserved something.
That is a fair point, but at the end of the day, I just think that as like nerdy moviegoers, that's not what these things are about, and I'm okay with that.
But
you're not gonna stab your
again,
day in
there
the
isn't a
front.
place for it though, for that ceiling to be broken, and Endgame could have, maybe should have done that. Because again, Lord of the Rings, I give it all the credit for breaking some of that, I don't know, hubris, and that's what it is. They're elites, but that kind of brought it down a little bit because that is a nerd fucking movie.
Yeah, it's a genre film, and yeah, it is
Yeah.
where they're groundbreaking in a lot of the ways. But I just feel like
But
if,
also,
if you need that sort of validation for these movies, the Oscars is not going to provide that for you. That's not to say that they should or shouldn't. It's just that they aren't.
A lot of people are saying
I've come to accept that.
A lot of people are saying the industry is in such a state of affairs right now that the Oscars need validation from the MCU and those style movies in order to survive. We'll see what the ratings are Tuesday, after all the numbers have been counted, but ain't nobody watching this shit. Even Taylor's like, oh, I'd rather do this stupid shit than.
I wasn't going to watch it anyway.
I honestly forgot they were coming on tonight until like earlier today, to be perfectly honest. Yeah.
It's just some notification on my app. One of my apps is just like, oh, the Oscars are starting, the red carpet stuff. I'm like,
let's do the show.
Let's do the show.
Yeah, it's a terrible news week, but we'll do it. I mean, we're here. We might as well do the show.
We're here. We don't have to compete against the Super Bowl.
Sheer fucking hubris.
It's true.
Nah.
And that is a pretty good summary of the Oscars right there.
It really is. It really is. Even though I liked several, I did not like the dog movie where there wasn't even a dog in it.
The Power of the Dog.
I was not a fan of that. I got it. I didn't like it. Tick, tick, boom. Math. Oh. Greetings, geeks. It's another episode of This Geek in Comics, Outright Geekery's comic book shit talk show.
Shit talk show.
Homer, a.k.a. David Taylor. Adam's still on assignment.
Still bombing Gotham City.
Yeah. Man, I didn't do anything this week at all. I watched a bunch of old movies. I didn't watch anything new. Atlanta is on my radar, and I need to just shut up and watch it, but I'd rather watch it all in one big run.
Georgia's on your mind?
Georgia's on my mind. They're in Europe this season. I'm excited to watch it, but no, I didn't do shit this week. Work fucking suck. Anybody else do it? Anybody do anything worthwhile?
I have been going through the seasons of Rick and Morty.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I've watched
HBO Max up.
I've been watching them on HBO Max, and it is a completely different experience than the one I remember on Adult Swim.
Because the commercials were 8 minutes long.
No, because there's a whole level of cussing in there that I was just like, that didn't happen in the Adult Swim version. And I'm like,
HBO does not.
It
have
actually makes it better. It actually makes it a whole lot better. And when you watch the series from as far as I'm in season 4 right now,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, Rick is just plans shit out. The whole Jerry and Beth getting a separation was all because Rick was pissed at Jerry because Jerry was going to turn him over to the government.
Here we go. He's
Galactic Authorities.
Last season.
All right, David. Yeah, we don't need a breakdown of the whole fucking show here.
It's a great show.
I will break it down.
Don't.
Show.
Do not.
Great show. Taylor, did you do anything at all this week?
Nothing that would be worth mentioning here.
Awesome. It's going to be an exciting show. Let's do this.
And now here's Goma with the news.
David just blew out my eardrums there.
Right, that was his speakers messed up. Not much news this week. There's a few things. There's a brand new comic book publisher entering the landscape. Artist Elite Comics. Kind of a throwback little logo there. Yeah, I don't really have much to say. They're going to be distributing through Lunar this June. They have a couple of primer issues. How the hell, man? Something been wrong with my my shit here. I only have one of the AEC images. Man, I have to start double checking that. But here's one of them, a blue one. They got a blue and a red. So yeah, look for that in June. Tyler Kirkman's involved. Jordan Gunderson, Freddie Williams. Talking about him later, maybe.
Okay.
So there you go. It looks like a bunch of 90s superhero nonsense.
Yeah, I was about to say they look 90s as shit right there.
Yeah, it's like
it
an
does.
old. It's like an old Image throwback.
That looked a lot like Image. Is this kind of the same idea as original Image, where it was a bunch of like the creators like trying to do their own thing here? Like, I'm trying to wrap my head around what the Artist Elite comics idea is here.
Well, I mean, it's just a publisher, really. I don't think there's any sort of, push. Early on, when they were talking about shit, they were going to distribute themselves. They were going to do mail order to shops and to individuals through their website. But them going through Lunar kind of takes away from that, I guess, original mission, if it even was a mission. Well, we got Tyler Kirk.
And probably gives them a wider distribution, too.
Through Lunar?
Yeah.
It's the same distribution as Diamond. But if they go through Lunar, then they can get cheap international shipping. And they can bust into the European market. But still, I don't know. It's a ship. Distributors are distributors. That doesn't impact us. I was happier when they were going to ship directly. I could just go there and get my books. But Tyler Kirkham, Brett Booth, who's a personal favorite of mine. Love that guy, even though he said some stupid shit, but who cares? Alan Qua, Ale Garza, Ben Templesmith, Sora Sung, Jordan Gunderson, Ryan Kincaid, Chad Hart, and Dexter Soy. He's done some Batman shit as of late. Paola Pontalena, and Freddie Williams II. So there's a good bunch of creators. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm always stoked for more content. More is always more. So we'll have more on them when they drop shit. I'll get the first books. I'll get their primer books.
When are they expecting to ship?
June. We're going to ship in June.
Oh, okay, so pretty soon.
Yeah. Moving on, Thor has a 750th issue coming up. This is with the weird legacy numbering, so it's technically not 750, but kind of.
I mean, of course, we're never actually going to see like a quote unquote legit like super high number again. That'll always just take the opportunity when like, oh, this is like the 100th issue of Spider-Man or whatever.
Numbers. Don't get me started on legacy numbers.
I mean, this is just what it is nowadays. They're always going to jump onto the legacy number when they think they have a quasi credible opportunity to.
Even with the numbers that Marvel counts, they're counting like Journey into Mystery and stuff like that. And Thor wasn't in every issue of Journey into Mystery.
Yeah, he appeared like somewhere in the teens, I think.
But then for like other characters like Spider-Man, they're not counting all of Amazing Fantasy. It's weird, dude. It's lame. It's weird. It is.
I mean, it is a bit of a clusterfuck, but
a lot of people say "quote unquote" cash grab whenever they're talking about just.
It absolutely is.
This is definitely a cash grab. Right? This is not a variant cover where you're actually getting something different. This is not a a story, a cheap 3-issue story. If the story's good, the story's good. Fuck your cash grab. This legacy numbering, yeah, it's definitely a cash grab.
It is, but I think I already saw where they're including a lot of real who's who among Thor writers.
Oh,
so.
For sure, dude. It's just in time for Thor's 60th anniversary. It's going to be a 74-page epic honoring 750 issues. We got Donnie Cates and Nick Klein, obviously, are going to continue a story because they're on the ongoing Thor book right now. But we're also going to get a JMS, J. Michael Straczynski, and Oliver Coipel reunite for a story set during their redefining Thor saga. One of my favorite runs. Jason Aaron's run, it's hard to argue against. The original, like, landmark, groundbreaking Thor run by Simonson is really hard to argue against. But, man, I love that JMS run.
I agree. That, I think, is the most underrated, really good Thor run.
Oh, it's so good. It's so damn good. But also,
I like that.
Oh, yeah, I like that, too. That's actually part of the ongoing story.
That's that right Japanese art form, ain't it? Where they take broken things and fix them with gold?
I don't think so.
Possibly.
I think that would be I think that's just a coincidence if that's what that is. But no, this is what happened to Mjolnir at the end of this last story arc.
That's where Mjolnir became sentient.
Now Odin.
Yeah,
is in it.
that's stupid as shit, but yeah, that's
It
what
was-
happened.
It was fun. I've actually caught up on that. It's typical Donny Cates, sort of shit.
I think he's doing characters dirty here, though.
Yeah, well, he's doing everybody dirty, so it's okay. He's not pulling
I
any
guess.
punches. Everybody getting dealt dirty.
He's been doing Marvel dirty with like King in Black and all that.
That was, man, it was dirty. His Hulk is kind of dirty, man. Everybody mean in that book too. I don't know. That's just the way he runs, or writes books. So, Dan Jurgens writes and draws a Thor and Balder team up. Comics icon Walter Simonson makes his grand return to Thor, writing and drawing an all-new adventure that explores the origin of his beloved creation, Beta Ray Bill. Finally, Beta Ray Bill. Oh, hi, Wajahat. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming by. So yeah, that's gonna be good.
I haven't been a fan of this Donny Cates run so much, but I am probably going to pick this up. I mean, you got Walt Simonson, JMS, Jason Aaron, and Al Ewing doing Loki again.
I'm not even done yet. Al Ewing and Lee Garbett collaborate for the first time since Agent of Asgard to bring you an all-new chapter for the God of Mischief. It leads directly into Ewing's upcoming Defenders Beyond series, and I know you're going to be all over that as well. Hey, hi, Wajat. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it.
Hello.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick that up. That's gonna be out April.
Yeah, I'm gonna check this out. I mean, yes, this is a cash grab, but this is also an excuse to bring together a lot of really good talent on the book. And so if that's what it takes to bring together all these different writers and artists, I'm okay with it being a cash grab.
I am okay with them making a pricier book and putting a lot of cool creators on it, but they don't have to say, "Oh, it's a 750." I don't care about that. That's stupid.
That's the only reason they're doing it.
I know they don't need that reason. Just do it. Just do it.
They're not gonna just do it for no reason, though.
Just give us good books. That's all I want. And
well, sure. At the end of the day, that's all that is always the only thing that matters.
It's got a great lineup. All right, this is something we don't usually touch, but there's not much going on this week. Nova is going to be in the MCU.
Finally.
On Thursday, Justin Kroll, a Deadline, revealed that Marvel Studios are working on a project centered around Nova.
Well, we already got the Nova Corps.
Richard Rider, which Nova are they going to do?
We don't know, and that is actually the question. Dick Rider or Sam Alexander? I like Sam. I'm a big fan of Sam.
Well, it would fit in with like the Champions and stuff since we are getting a Ms. Marvel.
Yeah, and where do they have to go next? You know what I mean? The Nova
That is a good point that David brings up. Like if they are trying to put together, they're also doing like a re thing. So if they are piecing together all of the quote unquote champions here, would that be a smarter move to use Sam instead of Richard?
Yes, 100%. That would be smarter, and that's the way they should go. It just is. They've already screwed up. All right. As all the awesome things that James Gunn has done for the Marvel Universe, him fucking up the Nova Corps is the most unforgivable.
I mean, that is probably a burned bridge at this point. And hey, that could maybe be the end for this show is like some little fragment of like Nova energy or whatever the fuck like makes its way to Sam on Earth. And that could be their way to
the ship. I would think the ship crashes.
Something like that, sure.
Yeah, or something. They've got to try to tie it together.
We didn't see much of the Nova Corps in Guardians of the Galaxy, but it seemed to be nothing like the comics Nova Corps.
Oh, it was nothing. It was ridiculous.
They had Thomas
C.
Nathan, Riley.
Thank you for stopping by.
As a member of the Nova Corps.
Yeah, and I was okay with that. He did well.
Yeah, he was fun as that.
What they did it as, but basically they were just driving around in tiny one-person spaceships.
Yeah,
being kind of stupid.
That him and the voice of Darth Maul.
I was fine with the Nova Corps that they used. It just wasn't the Nova Corps, not really.
Exactly. So yeah, I would much rather see Samuel Alexander, but that does leave the question: what are they going to do with space after the Guardians of the Galaxy movie? What is left to do? I mean, you're going to bring in the FF. That's certainly something. We're having that Secret Invasion, which is going to keep the Skrulls involved, but Eternals, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know. Nothing seems as cool as the Guardians of the Galaxy if you're going to explore space, and it seems to me like that's coming to an end after the next movie.
Well, the Eternals did kind of leave off on a note where they were going to go venturing into the galaxy because they did have Star Fox and Pip the Trolls show up.
Yes, they were absolutely setting up for shit there. But to Gomer's point, James Gunn has said that this is his last take on the Guardians, and it is also going to be the last time we at least see this iteration of the Guardians. They might try to reform something else later, but that's it for this lineup.
So is that a possibility that we're going to have the Nova Corps spinning out of the next Guardians movie? That's my thought. That's my thought on it.
I mean, that's as natural a way to do it as any, right? I mean, that's where we saw what this version of the Nova Corps originally was, you know?
Yeah, man, I'm excited about the Christmas special, and he's also actually said, James Gunn has said that there are going to be characters that are revealed, debut in that Christmas special.
I think the Christmas special is going to be before Guardians 3, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to release this year, and then Guardians is.
I don't think they've even started filming Guardians 3.
Oh man, we're going to get Life Day. Yay!
Yeah. I don't think they're going to do that.
They could maybe do a joke about it, and if they do, I'm sure it'll be good since James Gunn's telling the joke.
Yeah, James Gunn is gold, man. Everything he does is gold. There is a new book. I don't have a cover for it, but it's a Daniel Warren Johnson book.
Hell yeah.
One of our favorites. He did Murder Falcon. He did Wonder Woman Dead Earth. He did
the Thor,
awesome
Beta Ray Bill series.
Yeah, Beta Ray Bill was my book of the year last year.
Yeah. This comes out June 15th. It's described as The Wrestler meets Dragon Ball Z. And I just wanted to show off the artwork in the first issue preview here.
How soon can I buy this? I'm already sold.
Yeah, it comes out June 15th. It's an image book, though. I know you like to wait.
Well, I might make an exception for this. I don't know.
You know, the cream always rises
to
to
the
the
top,
top.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Snap into it.
You snap into it.
That's all the news we got this week, man. There was just shit for news this week. It was just really bad week, man. Takara Tomy, I had some Instruments of Destruction news. Takara Tomy, the folks who created the vast majority of the Transformers as we know them.
The toy line.
Yeah, the toy line.
Yeah.
Made a robot to go travel to Mars or to the moon.
Cool.
Yeah, that's cool. But that's all I got.
That is rad as hell. You know, that sounds like something like, you know, a child would like write a letter to them about, and they're just like, okay, well, let's try to do it.
Yeah. I'm not sure Top Cow actually owns Darkness 3. Nathan in the comments wants to do a Darkness 3 game. I would love that. I would love them to do, you know, any of that crossover sort of shit. But I think the creators have to get in on that.
Isn't that Top Cow's whole thing? Is like it's creator own shit.
Yeah, but
maybe I'm wrong about that.
But they don't get to like own the video game. They can help.
Yeah,
but it's not their decision to go out and do the game.
I genuinely don't know what the legal situation is there.
I think it's Darkness is part of that Witchblade universe.
Yeah.
So that's Silvestri.
Yeah. Get Mark Silvestri, kick that man in his ass, get some shit going. Let's talk food. It's gross.
Yummy.
When is it never gross?
Keeping to the trend of one bad one, one good one. We'll do the good one first. Cinnamon Toast Crunch has a new cinnamon spread. I imagine this is like Nutella, but Cinnamon Toast Crunch flavored. Why? Why have we waited this long for this?
Ain't there like a cookie spread, like a Bischoff cookie or something like that? I kind of imagine that being something similar.
I want some of this. This
looks like a good idea for sure.
Well, especially with apples.
That's what they got in the picture.
Sure. Sometimes they blow it by like showing like a good tasting food on putting it on something stupid. Like what was that thing like a little while ago?
Yeah, it was.
But
it was on it was on wings or something.
Yeah, they were putting like fucking like chocolate sauce on wings. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But here they are taking what looks like a good idea and putting it on an appropriate food. So hey, hats off to you, Cinnamon Toast Crunch guys.
Yeah, I'm all over that. I'm putting it on my list now. And then there is maple syrup.
This is out already.
Oh God,
I've seen this and I am afraid to try it.
What the fuck is wrong with them?
It's an IHOP team up partnership with Pepsi, a maple syrup flavored cola.
Yeah,
I'm kind of on the fence with this one, man. I got to be honest.
I do not like the taste of Pepsi.
I don't either, and I'm not really a fan of maple syrup. I'm more of a Mrs. Butterworth guy.
I mean, I wouldn't even want to drink a cola while I was eating pancakes. You know, those just seem like they really don't go together.
Yeah, we talked about that nitro infused soda, man.
We were on top of that one. Have no
Yeah,
fear.
Nathan's talking about the Pepsi in nitro infused soda. It's like Fast and Furious when you pop the top.
It'll increase your heart rate.
Wasn't it just like a cream soda or something?
Yeah,
though?
I
I don't
think-
get why
but
they're
it-
calling it nitro.
But they have
Or
like,
it's the nitrogen gas instead of carbon.
yeah, instead of
Oh,
carbon.
okay.
It's not. It's nitrogenated. So yeah, I guess this is on March 24th. Pepsi maple syrup cola will be available exclusively through the Show Us Your Stack sweepstakes on Instagram and Twitter. So maybe you didn't see this particular.
I
one
saw
out.
something like this.
Well,
at the
Pepsi got a
store.
lot of weird fusion flavors out there now, man.
Maybe it was that mango
So
one.
you got to go hashtag Show Us Your Stacks, hashtag Pepsi sweepstakes, and at IHOP to score this. So you got. Oh, I see what you got to do. You got to go to IHOP. You got to take a picture of your fucking pancakes and then send them on the Twitters. It has Nitro Ball, like oh, that's cool. Yeah, like the Guinness draft cans. That's cool. That's fun. So yeah, there's your Pepsi maple syrup. Look for that on the internet. No instrument of destructions this week. No instruments of destruction. So I guess it's just, man, it's early, but let's get into it. Let's do the top three.
Top.
I guess Taylor go first.
David just doubling down on just saying top there.
Top.
That's enough.
Actually,
Taylor?
I did continue the 3 through the break, but
I bet you did. I cut you off perfectly. Perfect timing.
Oh, well.
Honorable mentions.
All right. I'll throw out an honorable mention for Avengers Forever. This is Jason Aaron picking up with some of his pet characters, Thor's granddaughters here. I can't put it in my top 3, though, because I feel like they really rushed through this. I feel like this should have been like... This was like 2 half ideas they put into 1 issue instead of doing like the 2 issues I feel like it needed. But
yeah,
that being said, it was still fun. It's still, goofy, ridiculous bullshit like this book has been the whole time. So, still worth reading. Also an honorable mention for Wonder Girl, Trial of the Amazons, #1, mostly because of that Joelle Jones artwork. This is a weird combination of like a recap of a bunch of stuff that was happening in Wonder Girl while also jumping around with stuff. So there's not a lot to stand on with its own legs here, but that artwork is fantastic. I especially like that last image you did where we kind of see like the creation story. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, mostly the artwork here gets it an honorable mention.
It was, you're exactly right. It was bogged down by giving us some backstory, but there was also some new meat on the bone.
That's true. That is true.
It did its job of pushing the event, this event that is going through way too many books. So,
yes, that is true. Which, that does kind of handcuff all of these Trial of the Amazon books a little bit. But that being said, it was still a fun read and a real feast for the eyes. Yeah.
Oh, this is gorgeous. I love this team, the Amazon, whatever they're called. I can't even pronounce the word, but.
Esquisadas, maybe?
Yeah, they're rad, dude. They're so fun. All these different...
they seem pretty badass. I like them a lot.
All these different Amazonian cliques are really cool, dude. Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, I've been enjoying this event as like a way to kind of like look more into Wonder Woman's corner of the DC universe here.
Yeah, well, they're expanding it like a motherfucker in this event.
They are. They absolutely are. I'll do a final honorable mention for X Deaths of Wolverine #5.
We'll talk about this again. Yeah,
this is a pretty solid way to end it. It just didn't feel like as much was going on in this issue, so that's why it's in my honorable mentions and not in my top 3. But it was still pretty good. This was just like the big wrap-up fight, and we also see Moira apparently is like the new arch villain for the X-Men now.
So good.
Indeed.
So good.
But yeah, I'll let you gush about that later. My number 3 is going to be Demon Days Blood Feud #1, mostly for that sweet Peach Momoko artwork. But the thing that kind of broke the tie for me here was either going to be this or the Trial of the Amazons, both because they had great artwork. But I really enjoy all these infographics they put at the end that let us know about all these different Yokoi and everything.
Yeah.
So it's a very tropey story. Nothing in here is... Yeah, this is all very boilerplate anime. But Peach Momoko drew a really cool fight scene here. Even if it was kind of hard to follow from like one panel to the next, I just really love seeing Peach Momoko do interior work. So that lands into my top 3.
And it's going to continue.
We're spinning off into something else, apparently more like Oni in the modern age or whatever.
Yeah. It's interesting, man. If this Momoko verse, continues to be as successful as it is, it just means more interior work for her. So
Indeed.
I'll go. Fourth Man number 3 was fantastic. This book continues to be good. It's that Jeff McCombsy, Lee Luffridge with Mike Diodato. It's that Diodato photo referential art. It's just really cool. Godzilla versus Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Yeah, was cool. No muss, no fuss.
That's my fucking number 1.
Oh man, this was cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a bit. And Devil's Reign X-Men number 3, Jerry Duggan, Phil Noto, just very good. Emma wins. Emma always wins, and that's really all you need to know. Is that on your list this week?
I figured you'd talk about it. It would have been an honorable mention, though. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was all right. It didn't make my top 3, but it was a whole lot of fun. It's outside of everything, It's under the umbrella of this event, and it doesn't feel like it's really going to mean anything. But it was still fun. Emma Frost getting over on everything.
Yeah, I mean, this is just Emma being a bad bitch,
Yeah, they did announce a Voltron live action thing. Man, that's still at least 2 years away. At least 2 years away.
I feel like we usually wait for like trailers before we talk about shit.
I mean, they keep fucking everything up, dude. Nathan is in the chat bringing up the Voltron live action. Awesome. I love Voltron. I am more of a fan of Vehicle Voltron. I am in the minority there.
The fuck is wrong with you?
It makes way more sense that there's this big space convoy looking for a new place to live.
Dude, it's a show about giant fucking robots punching giant fucking monsters. Who cares what makes sense?
That's why the movie is going to be trash. Because of that attitude right there. Voltron can be so much more. The last animated Voltron was awesome.
It was.
Dude.
Yeah.
And it was because of the characters, Sure, there were big metal robot lions and robots kicking each other's asses and shit like that in there. But the characters in that are really what drove the show.
Are you going to sit there and tell me that the characters in the fucking Vehicle Voltron were somehow compelling?
No, but
then fuck you. What's your point?
I like the humanity of that show a lot more than I like the characterizations of the Vehicle Voltron, right? Of the individual characters in that show was a lot deeper. It's because there were more of them. There was like 30 of them.
Yeah, it was like, wasn't it 15?
There was a lot, dude.
But yeah, I guess for the record, Legendary Defender was my favorite version of Voltron too. So yeah.
Yeah. But I am very worried that they are going to fuck up a live action Voltron. Just plain and simple.
I want to reserve judgment until I see some footage. But
for sure. Oh, me too.
I will say that does sound like it's something that's going to be hard to get right.
Their track record is not great with these sort of adaptations. Even if you look at billion-dollar franchises like Transformers, it still did not hit the chord.
We might be able to hope for something on quality with like Pacific Rim,
We've got a live action,
pretty dope.
Recent Power Rangers movie that we have a reference to, and it was
that sucked.
Great. Everybody hated that. I don't mind that movie at all.
I mean, it wasn't the worst thing in the world, but
I don't
honestly,
mind that movie at all. I'm not a big Power Rangers fan.
I think the larger point, though, is that most people have already completely forgotten about it. It didn't really make much of an impact.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. But my number 3, back to the list, but thank you for bringing that up, Nathan. That it was actually some good news. Was Rogues number 1. Williamson, Leah Max in this Black Label title. It was extra big. It was extra expensive.
I was confident this was going to be on your list because it does kind of have that whole like late stage capitalism, like fuck this sucks jibe to it.
It does.
Oh yeah.
It's just a bunch of motherfuckers pissed off at the system who are old as hell. And it reminded me of like Ocean's 11.
It does have that vibe to it.
Yeah, it had like this.
Yeah, I can see that.
Old getting the gang back together sort of vibes. And the heist that they're doing is to rob the gold from Gorilla Grodd on Ape Island or whatever.
Gorilla City,
whatever.
So it does have like that just beautiful ridiculousness of a comic book, but it does also have kind of like this bite to it, to kind of like
Yeah.
look at like, people kind of being chewed up by the system and they're not going to take it anymore.
Yeah.
I would have included this if it hadn't been so much exposition.
I was
this
okay
is all
with
just-
it.
and that's fine. It is a first issue, and
Yeah.
that's fine. It's just that I'm sure the next issue will be a lot better than this one.
Yeah. But I had a great time with this book. It was a real surprise. Nathan in the chat, Ron Perlman recently talked about doing Hellboy 3. He was asked if he wanted to do Hellboy 3, and he said he would, but his exact quote was, "They need to hurry up. I'm fucking 70." So yeah, Hellboy 3 is not going to happen. Hellboy 2 is not going to happen.
I mean,
The,
Hellboy 2 did happen, but that was
that was
like
the goal.
God,
I meant
like
Hellboy
17
2
years
to
ago.
the other one.
Oh, that okay, yeah.
A
I see what you're
sequel to the
saying.
new one.
Yeah,
That's not going to happen.
The one with what's his name? The guy from Stranger Things.
Harbour.
Yeah, I don't
Hellboy.
remember.
David
Hopper.
Harbour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hopper.
But
I
like-
liked Heavy Metal Hellboy. I like that movie.
I feel
but
like
it's
at
not
this
gonna be a
point,
sequel.
Hellboy 3 is something we need to let go
Yeah,
because
for
if it was
sure.
going to happen, it would have happened by
It
now.
would have happened. I would be more interested in a Hellboy animated series with the success.
That's a
of
good
the-
idea. I mean, honestly, that would
They've
be more
had
true to
that.
form with the comics. I mean, the comics is kind of like an episodic kind of Picarillo type thing where like we
It
just see
is.
Hellboy go from like thing to thing and all that like apocalypse stuff is in the background. And that would be a cool thing to include in a TV show.
Yeah,
with
they've
the
had
success of
animated
Invincible.
Hellboy.
Yeah, and they have, but it wasn't what like Taylor was just describing.
Yeah, it was like the movie, direct to DVD movies and stuff.
Yeah,
And honestly,
Yeah.
that would be a good way to have Perlman involved because he can voice act still just
dude,
fine.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. That is exactly what I was gonna say. It doesn't matter how fucking old he is; he could be 100 and still do the voice of Hellboy. So yeah, that's a great idea. Do an animated Hellboy. There's so many fucking streaming services. It's impossible not to find a streaming service for that.
I would
for
be
Hellboy.
excited if they announced an animated series Hellboy.
Yeah, dude, everybody would. Everybody would fucking love that, dude. Everybody. But anyway, yes, Rogues #1. Very surprising how much I like this. That's my number 3.
Number
AKA
3.
David. Honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. All righty. Since you guys have already mentioned it, X-Devs of Wolverine. Nice conclusion to
Man,
a
I can't believe
story.
this didn't make y'all's list this week. ahead.
Just good, not great. Demon Days Blood Feud is one of my other honorable mentions. Just great
Nice.
artwork. Just
Nice.
would made the top 3 if it wasn't for some other books.
Nice.
Ghost Cage #1.
It's okay.
If you've read any of like the Battle Angel Alita from the
It's
old
manga. Yeah.
those Viz Comics days, it has
Yeah.
that very, very manga feel to it.
It did have a manga feel to it. And not just
And-
because it was black and white. It was the lines. It was the way the panels
Yeah, there
progressed.
was
It was
just-
the
yeah.
layouts. This
Yeah,
was really manga.
that was like the closest comparison I can make to it is something from Battle Angel Alita back in the day, the early Battle Angel Alita.
Agreed.
And my last honorable mention is Department of Truth number 17.
Man, I'm cooling on this book, man. It needs to get off the pot.
Yeah.
This issue was cool because of the content, but the delivery of it is just more of the fucking same, dude. This book is not moving anywhere past.
Was this the Bigfoot issue?
No,
this was the,
that was
moon
like
landing
about 3 or
issue.
4 issues ago.
My
This is
mistake.
a
My mistake.
moon landing issue.
Oh, okay. I
This-
couldn't remember which
this
like
was-
outrageous conspiracy this one was
Yeah.
supposed to be.
This is where Nixon takes over the White House, gets introduced to the guys that run the Department of Truth, and instead of faking the moon landing actually happens.
Does it though?
I believe so because the lady in
That's
red
the
is
point.
I
on
don't
the
want to hear
moon.
you guys argue about this. Please
That's
move
the
on.
point of the issue. We're not sure. It's making you wonder. Oh, did it happen?
Oh, God, it's too late.
I think it did
It's
happen.
wild, dude. And it's
But-
good,
Yeah,
but it needs to shit or get off the pot.
but I
Enough
think
of this
I think we're
red
going.
lady.
I think
Come
we're
on.
going to go into Watergate soon.
I'd be cool with that. Oh, maybe
Because-
the Department of Truth turns on Nixon.
Well,
the way Nixon's going to abuse
Nixon-
the department.
Yeah, because basically Oswald told Nixon that once you lose control of the narrative, you lose control,
Yeah.
and Nixon wants to control the narrative for the next election.
Yeah.
So
He brought it up, so we'll see.
yeah.
What happens.
But
Are
that
you going to say Watergate never happened and they just tricked him? That'd be a good issue.
that would be Yeah, there'd
Yeah.
be some crazy stuff going on
That'd be a
there
good
with
issue.
G. Gordon Liddy. My number 3 issue is going to be Godzilla versus Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Number
Nice.
1. I love kaiju. I'm not as big a fan as of Power Rangers as some folks here, but I did thoroughly enjoy the fact that we had the Spaceman and Rita Repulsa working together to find a way to stop Godzilla or bring Godzilla under control, and we get the Dragon Zord fighting Godzilla. So
I mean,
and the artwork
yes.
is fantastic.
This is exactly what you thought it was going to be going in, but they nailed it. We have the Dragon Sword versus Godzilla. We just saw that shot of Godzilla versus Megalon. You know, they have come up with a stupid cockamamie premise for all these characters interacting with each other. And I fucking love that. It's fun. It's so well drawn. Get to that one where Godzilla nails the Dragon Sword with atomic breath. Like, if you can find
I
that
don't
one.
even think I
Man,
have
fuck you. There we go. No, wait, that's not it.
But
yeah,
there's
that's
just too much going on in this book, and it works so wonderfully.
I mean, I could have grabbed every page of this book. The art is so damn good.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of like everyone is calling each other by their full proper name so that they can introduce who all these characters are, and that's a little annoying. But you know, that's kind of what you expected going in. You know,
this book gave exactly what it promised.
Yeah, I mean, this is dumb, it is ridiculous, but it's fun. It's amazing, and it's very, very well drawn. You know.
Yeah, man. Freddie Williams is.
Yeah, he's the one that does a lot of these crossover books. Didn't he do like Masters of the Universe, Thundercats, and Ninja Turtles, Batman?
Yeah, he did.
So,
I don't think he did both of them, but yeah, he did those. But
it seems very reminiscent of that.
That was a fantastic book, dude. Because it's big, dumb, stupid fun.
Yeah,
they didn't try.
Kaiju
they didn't try to be depth and layers and a lot of people talking, you know, about dumb shit. There was just enough talking so you know what's going on. The talking really wasn't all that entertaining. You know, there weren't a lot of jokes or anything. But yeah, really solid issue.
Although I do think that Rita Repulsa did play it up a whole lot in this book.
Well, that was good. I thought all the characterizations were good.
I mean, I'm
not a big MMPR fan, but
this is I'm not the hugest MMPR fan either. I mean, I wish Jules was here to talk to us about that. But this is a very hammy property combining with another very hammy property. So this is always going to be a hammy book.
Yeah.
But it's fun. These are like silly concepts that, you know, are mostly aimed at, you know, juvenile audiences, but they're doing it really well, you know?
Yeah. And it's setting up for the next issue too, the cliffhanger.
Page I mean, the rest of the Power Rangers show up.
I can't wait.
Yeah, we're probably going to get they directly say, time to call in the dinosaurs. Like, oh shit. You know?
Yeah. Cool. Good choice. T, you're up for number 2.
My number 2 is going to be Wolverine Patch number 1.
Holy shit, that is my number 2 as well. I didn't think you were gonna pick this up.
I picked it up and it's fun. Kind of like with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers thing going on. This is just a throwback to like an older era of comics, and it's a lot of really wooden dialogue. It's a lot of really goofy premises. We do have one of those frustrating, like, if these fucking assholes would listen to Wolverine for 5 fucking seconds, we don't need to be fighting at all. But this is charming. It does have kind of like that nostalgic feel to it. And as much as the plot here is just like an excuse to dump Wolverine in the jungle and have him like get up into shenanigans, they're doing that pretty well. They're fun shenanigans, you know?
I love Nick Fury's dialogue here. Larry Hama just nails that throwback 60s era, no nonsense.
Palooka, you know, that kind of stupid bullshit. But it's fun.
It's so fun.
This was a good week for just comics being fun.
Yeah,
you know,
look at this page, just a single page, just motion through there. That's Andrea DeVito killing it on the art. Hama is always good. The art in this book hits all of the notes that Hama is putting down for the story, and it just works together so well. I'm a huge fan of Wolverine. I can't get enough of the guy. This is exactly what I need. You know, this is if X-Death's Wolverine is like your real serious take. This is like your Batman 66 almost take.
Yeah, it's a good way of framing it. Yeah,
it's like Bat Affleck versus, you know, Adam West Batman, and man, it was so good. I loved it so much, dude. I loved it so much.
This was a real hoot.
to move on. So, yeah, that was my number 2 as well. So good choice, Taylor.
Ah.
Dave, you're up with number dos.
My number 2 is going to be Rogue's number 1.
Oh wow, I just talked about that.
Yeah, it's going to keep it surprise.
Yeah, we're all getting our peanut butter and each other's chocolate here. You know?
The cream rises to the top.
I really like this. I like Old Man Captain Cold.
Yeah.
I in this world that they're living in now, he's not the bad guy. I mean, he's a bad guy, but he's not like the real
bad guy. Yeah. The world is the bad guy.
Yeah, the whole system is the bad guy.
Yeah.
He gets a promotion just because he's getting a stipend taken from his check. So they don't have to pay him that much. Oh my gosh, it's just.
I mean, they're still paying out the same amount of money. I don't get how that works from their
he
perspective.
They know he needs his job. They know he can't quit.
Yeah, they know he can't quit. And they also, like, as they say, it's like making them look better, promoting an ex-con.
Yeah, he's trapped in his day job.
And I guess somebody was going to be getting the bigger paycheck, so it might as well be the guy who's like trapped in the position. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was just a really good, solid read. I mean, I love the way that they went and they formed the team. They broke the one guy, Mirror Master, out of a rehab. It's just all these former villains have got together for this one last score, and it's going to be freaking awesome.
And they're all dysfunctional as fuck.
Yeah.
They're all victims of the system. It's just wonderful. Yeah, like Taylor said earlier, right up my alley with all those sort of themes, Excellent choice. T.
My number 1 was Godzilla versus Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, so we already talked about that.
Nice choice. Such a good book. Yeah, I'm really anxious for the second one.
Good, stupid fun.
Yep. My number 1 was not big, stupid fun. It was a lot of serious, a lot of nostalgia, a lot of history, a lot of inward examination of the soul of a warrior. No, it was X-Death of Wolverine number 5. Ben Percy, Federico Vicentini. It's a fantastic ending to arguably one of the best Wolverine series ever. And there have been a lot. Okay. This did everything that it needed to do, and it did it with style. All right. This leaned into Logan's past. It leaned into his future. It leaned into his present, his family, his friendships, his enemy ships. And it did it all while being just firmly steeped, like 1 foot always in the current status quo that is going on at Marvel Comics.
Yeah, it did move forward the current status quo. And there was I did like this is basically Moira's send-off from Krakoa is kind of taking it back to where we started with Krakoa.
Yeah,
and she's just very bitter about it now.
Yeah, with powers of 10 and that.
Yeah,
and
but
Wolverine shows up and talks to himself with this watch that he got once upon a time. I love pulling that in because that didn't happen in this book. This happened in X Lives. He got that watch in X Lives.
But I agree. That's a good point to make where both this and X Lives, these are stories that could only be told with Wolverine.
Yes. Yeah. It had that Days of Future Past angle. It just had everything it needed. It had the Charles angle, the Jean Grey angle. It had the Omega Red angle since Sabretooth, right here on this page, Sabretooth, does end up being there. So I don't know what Ben Percy's leaning in on there. But this issue actually felt a lot more like an issue of Ben Percy's X-Force than it did Ben Percy's Wolverine, with really his X-Force has basically been an extension of Wolverine. And then, like you alluded to earlier, we get the 11th life of Moira McTaggart.
She's the Omega Sentinel?
Yeah, she's a Mega Sentinel now, or
the Omega Sentinel.
Something, she's not specifically the character Omega Sentinel, that's someone else, but this is bad news regardless.
Something more. And there have been a lot of Omega Sentinels because they're out of time. She's out of time. This one is not the one I remember. I remember the Omega Sentinel from before the Krakoan age was a good guy.
Yeah.
They had flipped her ass. But not anymore. But that is very cool. You know who I want to see brought back into this? You know who I thought of immediately when I saw Moira? Danger. Remember Danger from the Astonishing X-Men?
I do remember that. I'm not sure where she's ended up nowadays.
Yeah, I wonder what she's up to. It's just really cool. But Yeah, honestly, this is X Deaths, X Lives of Wolverine is going to go down as one of the greatest Wolverine events of all time, runs of all time. I really liked how it was like House of X, Powers of 10. You know, there were two and they were intertwined and they came together at the end. You know, Ben Percy's really picked up. We all talk about Gary Dugan, you know, Jerry Duggan, whatever the hell his name is. We talk about him leading because he's on the flagship title. I'm sorry, I don't think so, man. I really don't. I think Ben Percy is the one who picked up the gauntlet and just kept going. In terms of what Jonathan Hickman had laid down, I think he's picked it up and carried it better than Dugan has at this point. Not that Dugan is bad, but everything that Dugan has fucked around with, he's the one who laid that down. You know, not taken away from his books at all, but man, I love this so much. I really loved X Lives, X Deaths event as a whole. So there you go. That's my spiel. That's my number one. Dave, is it ending with me?
No, it's ending with me.
Okay.
Well, chime in there, Dave.
I was about to say
I was like, what
my
books are
number
left?
one pick? My number one pick this week is Human Target number 6.
Oh, good choice. I don't have the cover for that, but I do have.
This right here. Holy shit! And this
It
is
was
not in
cool.
continuity, is it?
It
No.
certainly is not. No.
I don't
Okay,
think so.
because this would have had some ramifications.
But we do have the
It's a
punch
throwback.
is a DC Comics
Yeah.
mate.
But oh my gosh, this was great. You know, he's got 6 more days to live to find out who poisoned him. He's accusing Fire of being the one that poisons him. Ice takes poorly to this. Guy Gardner shows up and is like the angry
Guy Gardner fashion, typical fashion.
and then he gets his ass.
I don't know that he deserved to die, though.
This is not Guy Gardner. This is a construct that he made. So I don't know. but nobody, he may have turned off his rings locator and nobody knows he's dead yet. This is awesome.
I love dude.
This was just great artwork from Smallwood. King is
Yeah.
telling a great story here. I was just really blown away by this book. That's why it made
That
my
was a
number one.
big moment, but nothing really progressed the plot in this book at all. Like,
No.
we are exactly the same place at the end of the issue as we were at the beginning of the issue, where like Fire's the next person he needs to go see.
Fire is there in the book, last page.
Yes, that's exactly what
That's
I'm
where
fucking
he
talking
was.
about.
Yeah.
That's where he was going at the last page of the issue.
Yes, we
before this.
already knew Fire was
Yeah.
the next stop, and then he doesn't actually. We don't even see him begin a conversation with her until the end of this one.
I thought it
but
was
it's a
very
great-
human.
It's
Him
a great.
and his old lady or whatever, you know, talking. I thought
This
that
was a big shocking moment,
Yeah.
which kind of rubbed me the wrong way, honestly, because again, I don't know that he deserved to die here.
You're not wrong.
He was incapacitated. He didn't need to kill him.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Maybe he didn't know his own strength. Maybe he'll reform.
Yeah.
like the
No,
Terminator.
he
Maybe he'll
absolutely
reform
did
like
this.
the T-1000.
No, David, but I guess this
Yeah.
is like an out of continuity thing, so we can do what we want. But apparently, I think Christopher Chance, he's a bad person, honestly.
I think that's where this issue is kind of leaning to, because it's like a duality of the character was on display in here, because some of
Yeah.
the things he was saying to
Ice.
his old lady, it was kind of like he has a heart. It's in there. But some of the shit
Yeah.
he does is just really terrible shit. And I'm not
Cause-
sure what King is really trying to say up to this point about the character. Smallwood's still killing it on the art.
Oh yeah,
That's
the art
the
is
reason to
always
read it.
fantastic. Smallwood is killing it. And I've really enjoyed this is my least favorite issue of the run, but I have really enjoyed this series a lot so far. I just feel like this one did not do anything to
Yeah.
progress the plot. We just had the one shocking moment.
I don't think that was the point of the issue, because I agree with you. It didn't. And there was that shocking moment, and it speaks volumes to the main character, who he is. And I think that's what this was sort of doing. This was sort
Yeah,
of
that's fair enough.
figuring out who the character is a little bit more. But I mean, it's a huge hiatus now, you know, after this issue. That might hurt the book a little bit. Tom King tends to sell, you know, no matter what's going on. But yeah, still a solid series. I'm caught up on it now. You know, it's solid. It's King. You always get the same thing with King, in my opinion.
consistently good.
I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. Some of his shit is not as good as others, but he always gets the best artist, dude. Always. Anyway, Heroes in Crisis, terrible, but I mean, He wrote whoever drew the fuck out of it. I think it was Marquez. Anyway, that's it for us, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Check out outrightgeekery.com. We got a bunch of links to a whole bunch of different shit that we got going on, different shows. The bullies, have links up there, all kinds of swag and different links to all kinds of great stuff. So please check that out. We'll be doing another show tomorrow. Probably just me and Taylor doing the previews tomorrow.
Yeah, I got to work tomorrow.
Looking at all of the books that are coming out this week. Come back and join us for that. Always fun. Always my favorite show of the week. What else we got going on? I don't know. Bunch of shit throughout the week, maybe. Nothing. The Oscars are on. Maybe we'll go watch those. But again, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Most of all, thanks to these guys for hanging out with this guy.
You're welcome.
No problemo.
We're going to do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel.
Man, out here early this week.